start it just to get the people and traffic into it. So, and then see if I freak out if my computer starts dropping frames like mad. Then we just have to record it like normal. So, but so far we're 13 seconds in and we're okay. So we're pre-gaming, kids. We are.
Oh no.
We're pre-gaming. We're live, and no one's watching, but I gotta talk anyways because dead silence is uncomfortable. So it is the worst.
For pre-gaming, should I get something other than coffee to drink?
You can do whatever you want, Dave. You can do whatever you want. I'm just drinking some water, and Church is just probably drinking the blood of his victims. So
I don't have any victims these days.
Aww.
But yeah. So what have you guys? I know that Church and Dave haven't really had cards yet, but Myles, what do you think of the set so far?
It's kind of nutty.
Yeah, I love it.
I mean, it's just numbers. When you can throw an attack at somebody that starts at 3 damage and you can get it to 26.
It's a lot of numbers.
Or you can be Maxi and figure out that he doesn't have an associated cost to play his momentum grab.
Yeah.
I think they fucked up on that one. Like
Shane Duckworth and I and some of the LWG guys were like, Shane's going to make a bunch of memes that are like the Elon Musk ones where he's smoking the joint. And it's going to be like, draw 3 cards, make his hits blunt, make it a 6 check. The fuck?
Yeah, there's some really good shit in that set. What I do like about this set, though, is most of it's not like super deeply character locks.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can kind of spread the goodness around with a lot of it. It's not like with like a Kuma, right, where like his support only really works in him and so on and so forth. Like you can kind of shenanigans around with a good bit of the set, I think.
I'm honestly a bit surprised that the foundation snap to hand, the ever hopeful part of Moon set isn't relegated to if you have 6 or less foundations.
That is
like
also,
Killer only or something.
Yeah.
So speaking of just getting cards, our boxes showed up today. We did a full pre-release kit.
Yeah.
0 moon sets in 8 boxes. Yeah. So I'm just gonna have to order some. It's like, fuck me, really?
Get yours today at legendarywargames.com. What?
There you go.
Yeah.
If I vote for you, Myles, I'm taking that 20% discount. I'm just saying.
Everybody was so salty about that. I was like,
dude, I thought it was hysterical.
It was genius.
Buying votes. This is awesome. This is U.S. politics at its best.
It was genius to do that.
That was perfect.
To be fair, most U.S. politicians tell you they're going to give you something and then you vote for them and you never get it.
Yeah. At least you followed through with your campaign promise. Like, I respect that.
If the coupon code not worked, then we would have had a scandal on our hands and I would have done that as well. I should have just done that. Easy money.
No, yeah, for sure.
Made the coupon code not work and then had a store-wide 20% discount.
I do want to say, though, I ordered mine, and I got mine promptly 2 days later. That was some of the fastest free shipping I've ever had in my entire life. I thank you for that.
Right, you did. This is fucking America, Chris Smith. That's how we do things.
I thank you for that. That was very awesome, because now I can play them tomorrow in locals and make all my opponents and my kids cry, because I'm playing Jetta Moonset tomorrow. So.
If I make it to Arkansas, I'm just going to dirtle on people with Ken again.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
It'll work.
Yeah. You didn't get any worse.
No, he did not get
any worse. Top 4.
Well, I mean, half of Omaha is going again, so it'll be like a local for me.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Probably still top 8 at least.
For you guys just trickling in, we're just pre-gaming, waiting on Shane. He's currently working right now, so he may or may not jump in. If not, we got these 3 fine gentlemen, and I'm pretty sure we'll have all of the banter in the world. So feel free to...
For Shane, if you'd like.
Feel free to post up questions in the chat box. I will ask our constituents. And then about 7 o'clock, we will start rolling. And enjoy the pregame. We're just kind of hanging out, chit-chatting, and so.
Yes. Is my camera working?
Yes, your camera is working.
Yeah, working fine.
All right, cool.
You look good.
I feel like crap, so thank you.
But you look good,
You have an orange t-shirt, which seems a little odd, honestly.
It's not orange.
It's red.
Okay.
Oh,
it's red. It's just the lighting. It's the lighting, man.
Okay.
It's the lighting.
That's fair.
Yeah. Speaking of which,
don't you wish that on me, Ricky Bobby? Damn orange shirt on.
Speaking of which, though, how can one procure a Legendary Wolf Games store shirt that he can hang in his house with every other UFS company shirt he owns? I got 2 of the 3. I need the third one, man. I need the Holy Grail. I need the Holy Grail.
So the Trinity, so to speak.
Yeah, the Trinity. Yeah, the Holy Trinity.
We are actually in the process of doing clothes and hats and all that stuff because we've had a bunch of people ask us for it.
Oh, cool. Awesome. That's great.
Now, Chris, this Holy Trinity, does that mean you're part of the Trinity, or is Jasco the third part?
Oh no, I'm definitely the non-official part. I'm like that side leg that's too short. I'm like the cute triangle leg where it's smaller than the other two. You know,
dude, like I'm on this team. You gotta stop ragging on this. I'm excited to have a team jersey, you know?
That's more of a team t-shirt, dude. It's not really a jersey, but it's a t-shirt.
It has a number and my damn name. I know what a jersey is.
Mine's already falling apart in the armpit. I'm kind of sad.
Oh, Jesus.
It also could be because I'm super swole, so, you know.
Yeah, sure.
And it shrunk one size. It was a large, and it became instantly a medium, so.
Did that happen to me? Because that won't be good. I'm a big guy.
The extra, like the XLs and anything up are pretty much fine. Everything below large kind of shrunk a bit, so yeah.
I think you'll appreciate this. So, Eternal Rivals doesn't make clothes anymore.
Oh, okay.
Sadly, so I had this made, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then on the back.
Oh,
nice.
That's nice. Oh, that's cool, dude.
So that's a one-off. That's a me thing only. Nobody else gets that.
That's cool. Speaking, I got a couple cool shirts today. I got from one of those T-shirt of the day things. They had like a Sub-Zero Frosted Flakes like shirt, and then they had like an Iron Maiden, but it's Iron Raiden, and he's holding like the flag. It's awesome. Yeah.
Wow.
I need some Mortal Kombat shirts, and now I have to get rid of 2 shirts because the wife says any shirts I bring in, I get rid of 2 shirts. So.
Oh,
it's a set rotation.
Yeah, it is. I really only have 5 shirts in set rotation, but I really should have 10.
Oh. I mean, there's a lot of discussion about 10's too big. We all know that.
So 7 then. 7.
Yeah, maybe 7.
7's just slightly above the average.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I am kind of just average, so I guess that's fine.
Yeah.
So. But yeah.
Oh, man.
So yeah, I'm sorry to hear you didn't pull any moonsets, man. That's rough.
That's fine. We got a full set of Ghost Thieves, which is nice.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So
it's the kind of card you want like 1 to 2 of in the decks. That's good to have 4 of.
Yeah. So
let's talk about that Ivy card, shall we? Golly.
What, Guilty Throne?
Yeah, man.
Guilty Throne's nice.
Yeah.
I only pulled.
Pretty saucy.
I think I pulled 2. 2? Yeah, I pulled 2. Yeah.
Yeah. Like so, we just shipped the cards to Ben's house because he's got more storage in his giant fucking like humongous house, and I just have an apartment.
Mm-hmm.
So he just cracked everything this afternoon. He's like, "Yeah, we didn't get any moon sets like at all." I'm like, fuck. But we got like a full set of Krita Yugas, and we got a full set of Ghost Thieves. So it's like, yeah, okay, that's fine.
It balances out. Yeah.
It balances out. It'll be okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. And we have an event this weekend, so I'll try and do some trades, and then whatever I need, I'm just gonna buy. So it'll be fine.
What do you got this weekend? A Premier Store event or just like Oh, cool.
Yeah, we have our Premier Store event for the month apparently, which will be fun because obviously it's our first one with the new set. So
oh yeah, that'll be big.
Be a bunch of bullshit floating around Atlanta.
Oh, you know,
all this testing. So
you guys will just aggro everybody down like always, and then
we have that reputation, man.
Someone's getting fog blanketed,
whether it's deserved or not. We have that rep.
Someone's just gonna get fog blanketed to death. That's all. That's all.
I mean, I'm definitely building a fog blanket deck for sure. I don't know if it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
I have my doubts, honestly, but
man, was that card fun as fuck to draft?
Oh, yeah. Dude, yeah. I missed the draft, but like Jeremy was telling me about his, and he was like, "Yeah, I drafted 7 fog blankets." I was like, "Oh."
We did. What was it? Over the course of Turbo Worlds, we did 1 on Friday, 3 on Saturday, and 3 on Sunday. So we did 7 drafts over the weekend, and by far, that card is Wow.
Yeah.
It's a fucking stun 2 reversal that clears your block at worst.
Yes.
Like
at worst.
Yeah,
if you don't punch them in the dick at the same time.
Exactly. And then it's like new school shield ram on offense. It's like, yeah, the card's crazy good. So
I won the Rockford pre-release draft with 7 redemptions, 7 face splitters, and like 6 OG mechanical ninjas. So it's just like, and I was obviously Yoshi, and I almost killed Reese on turn 1 going second. I think I put him to 3. Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
Like I said, I missed our draft because I was out of town for it.
Yeah.
But, I heard some war stories. Sounds like people had a good time with it. So
yeah, it's definitely a real fun set to draft, man.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, definitely.
And you never check bad. That's the other great.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's very few garbage checks in this set.
Very true. I actually may need to check that.
Sixes.
There's not a lot of 4s.
You're looking at characters now, and you're like, who the fuck is Spike 1? Like, Infinity did the same thing with no cost. Let's just, what the fuck's the deal?
That guy is still legit, but he's not what he was like a year ago. But he's definitely still really good.
Oh, very true, very true. I think the meta has completely shifted. Well, it's just obviously we've had 4 sets. This would be the 4th set. Yeah, wow.
We had 4 sets last year.
Yeah, 4 sets, and it just seems like with every set, like the monsters of the previous set, aside from like Goro, Goro's considered one of those staple guys, but. Yeah, it just keeps kind of like cycling in and out. Just like, wow.
I don't know, man. There's still a handful of the Bebop characters that like kind of define the format a little bit. Like Vicious is still way up there.
Oh yeah, Vicious will never go anywhere. He's too fucking strong.
He's too good. Sure. Like his kit's too solid. He's just generically powerful. Same thing with Jet. Like Jet's gonna be fine. He might not always be top tier, but he's always at least gonna be like in the discussion of A.
For sure.
So 2 damage and draw a card is always relevant.
Yeah. Vicious is just really strong. Like, this is a good ass character. So, Spike 1 will come and go depending on how strong his symbols are, because his support is like okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's got Swimming Bird and like a card or 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He has one of the best, basically, like character stamp foundations.
I mean, I guess Vicious is the same way. You really don't run most of Vicious's support in him, like it's his attacks.
Yeah,
not anymore. I mean, you never really did in the first place, right? Like, it's Cathedral at one point, and that was it. And that probably doesn't even run now.
I mean, Cathedral's probably his best attack. I mean, even playing the Earth version that I was playing before, I didn't play any of his stuff because it felt like there was no reason to.
Sure.
The rest of the cards in the format were just so strong that while Vicious' stuff wasn't bad, it was just like,
this is better.
It's just better.
Yeah. You beat my fucking brakes off of that Earth Vicious. That was the most one-sided stomp I have gotten in a tournament play in a while. It's like, this is just a hard counter. This is not going to go well.
I got to watch that match. I was enjoying it.
And I won one of those games.
He was on Mad Pro, so I didn't need to look at or interact with Giggles, so I just watched you guys play.
I won one of those games. I stole a game from you, but I should not have.
You and Keenan were the only people that stole a game from me. Keenan stole a match, but you and then Tim ended up beating me in top 4. But man,
that deck was great. Yeah.
I've been thinking about running it back, but I think everybody's like, the format's too fast, and I'm like, slow that shit the fuck down.
Yeah. I don't think the format's as fast as people really think it is.
I don't think so.
We'll get
there are outlier decks that will turn to you, but
I attacked into Sofitia this weekend. Let me tell you.
I printed a 1/6 and I pitch a card and gets ready. Oh my god!
It's insane if you can.
I mean, it's what's for turn, right? It is, if I'm not.
No, it's not.
Oh god.
No, that card is just gas in that character.
Yeah, no, I was already playing fucking Unite and Leg Shredder, so I'm already like readying a bunch of shit and killing you anyway. And then they gave me a spam foundation with a 6 check that I can pitch itself if I have one in my hand and burn you for 2 and ready a copy of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that card's gross. So.
I know that I attacked him. Well, you see, I think about slowing it down is, have you guys, I don't know if any of you have faced a Sophitia deck yet. I got to swing into Trent once. He committed my entire board and my character off of one attack. Yeah.
That sounds right.
That was, it was like, well, I guess I pass. I build and pass. Sweet. Yeah. All she needs to do, she needs to find a kill con that's not Frosthammer, and I think she'll be okay. You know, but
yeah.
Frosthammer's still good.
I still feel like that's not a problem.
No, it's still not a problem. Yeah, Frosthammer, double Frosthammer still kills people if your entire board's committed, but it's it's like getting to that state. I think she can do it.
The thing with Frosthammer decks too, right? It seems like ridiculous on paper, and then you go to set it up, and it's like, oh, this is actually way more work than it feels like it should
Sometimes
be.
you just got to let them do it themselves, which is not a viable strategy unless you're Garrett. But I mean, hey, he did it, and he ran into the one matchup that would make him lose in Top Gun. So.
Yeah,
that's also true.
Publicly said on our little group chat thing, he's like, "No, I'm just here to keep Garrett off cardboard. That's it."
So. What a monster! Bo Tucker, what a guy!
He's a great dude. So.
What a guy!
Okay.
Best kind of scumbag. So.
Okay, so I can probably go ahead and start. I don't know if Shane can hop in whenever he feels like hopping in. So, all right, everyone, welcome to the first ever Rockford CCG Guile Treatment Decision 2019. This is the debate for the final 5. We are missing 2 people. Phil has graciously bowed out for tonight. Shane's at work. He may hop in, but we do have Dave Wagoner from Atlanta.
Hi, guys.
We have Church, Montgomery, Clinton. Yeah. I'm blanking on your last name, Badger. Oh my God, it's so bad. And then we have...
It's on the screen!
I know it is! It's so bad! I know! And then we have the legendary Wolf himself making his first... second appearance on the channel. The first appearance was when his show opened. So this is his first actual talk show appearance. So look forward to him being on. Legendary Wolf, Myles Tyler, thank you very much for coming on. I know you're not feeling great. We appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
So tonight, this is how the format's going to work. We're going to let candidates kind of talk about themselves for a little bit. I'm going to have a timer. They get 3 minutes to talk about themselves. And then after that, we will take a look at the polls. I believe Church was in the lead as of this afternoon by maybe 1 or 2 votes over Myles.
I got 3 votes over Shane.
Over
and
Shane?
4 votes over Myles.
Okay, so Myles is in 3rd place currently. I know Dave's kind of at the bottom of the barrel. I know that. Sorry,
I'm
Dave.
scraping for sure.
I know. Hey, there's still plenty of time.
All of Phil's votes to Dave. They're practically the same person anyway. And then it's actually a good race.
Tonight, this is where Dave can make up some ground. He can prove to you guys that he should be on the show. So we're looking possibly at 2 of these individuals, or if I just feel like it, it's my fucking show. I can have all 3 of them on if I really feel like it. So we'll see how this goes tonight. That makes a lot of sense.
We're the ones with commitment here.
I know.
I feel like at this point we should just be the 3 of us because, like...
I know, for real.
We showed up.
Yes, it's also true. Very true.
Show that you got the same amount of people. I mean, some people, like Jason, don't like watching Rob anyway.
I know, whatever. But I have some questions to ask. I'll take some questions from the audience. So, first, let's go ahead and start with Dave, since he's in last place currently. Why don't you tell the good people, I know you've been on the show before, but tell them,
Sure.
You got 3 minutes to talk about yourself.
Okay, so I'm Dave Wagoner, and I've been playing this game since literally set 1, like way back in the dark days of UFS, I guess you could call it at this point. I've been playing the game off and on pretty much since then. Been traveling for tournaments since about set 2. Was at the first nationals, which was kind of cool, and made top 4, which was pretty sweet. I've gotten a number of characters banned, and I'm kind of proud of that. I've won, God, how many pieces of cardboard do I have now? 7?
Oh.
I want to say 7.
I think it's 7.
Are we including the one that's coming out this time?
Yeah, I'm including the one that's coming out.
Okay, that sounds right.
So I think, because I have a singles asset, I have a singles character.
Yep.
I have
Dave's pants!
I have the best start in UFS history.
Tequila Sunrise, baby.
Massive gamble, for sure.
Tequila Sunrise.
Tequila Sunrise.
Yes.
AKA Dave's pants.
AKA Dave's pants, exactly. And then I've got 5 team assets, mostly teaming with Ben Shoemaker, Drew Maffei, and Phil Birch, who is not here tonight, but that's okay. So we by far have the most consistently drunk team in UFS, so that's nice.
That is true.
Yeah, I don't know. I like engaging with the community when I can. I don't get to do it a lot because I don't travel as much as I used to for events and stuff. Like I show up to majors, I'll show up to Atlanta, and I'll try to hit like one PTC a year past that.
Mm-hmm.
I just have a real job, so
yeah,
it makes it difficult.
Oh, definitely.
But I'm pretty active on the Discord, talking tech and making fun of people and kind of everything that goes in that toxic cesspool. But a lot there's good that comes out of it.
Yes, there
it's
is.
not just salt and memes, but it's mostly salt and memes, honestly.
Oh,
lots of salt and memes.
There's a lot of salt and memes. Yes, for sure.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty decent recap. I'll pass it on.
Okay, so wait, before you pass it on, you have one. Yeah. Why should the good people pick you to be on the show? You have 1 minute.
7 cards. I don't need the rest of my time.
Okay, there you go. All right then. Wow. Whew. Oh. All right then.
In slightly more serious tone, I like doing format breakdowns. I like dissecting a format and seeing like, okay, what are the angles you need to attack it to try to beat it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's why I like Teams so much, because Teams is the most fun format to do that in. But all of that knowledge definitely applies to singles too, and I've had good success there as well.
Yep.
So,
yep.
But seriously, 7 cards.
7 cards.
Fine.
Yep. Seven people.
There you go.
All right, cool. Well, you have 24 seconds if you just want to just like, brush off your shoulder a bit, those 7 cards. Show them.
You want to hurry up and rub one out because you're on the way. You're on the way.
All right.
I saw a box of tissues on the desk there, Dave. It's okay. I get it, man. We get it. All right, calm down, sir.
All righty.
Don't judge my needs. It's fine.
So we'll go counterclockwise to Myles Tyler. You have 3 minutes, sir.
Most of you know who I am. I've also been playing UFS as long as Dave Wagoner has, but didn't start traveling and playing UFS professionally until the Jasco era, where I showed up to the Michigan PTC coming from Omaha.
With the Terry theme deck.
The Terry Bogard Earth All theme deck that nobody was prepared for. That seems to be the story of my life. Every time I show up to an event, I bring a deck that nobody seems to be ready for. Dave Wagoner and Clint and Chris Smith and a lot of you guys that are watching this show can attest to that. I've never won cardboard, but I've always been the guy to show everybody that you can play UFS and play what you want and still beat people's faces in without asking any questions. I opened Legendary Wolf Games, the physical store, over 1.5 years ago, and to much success without carrying 2 of the biggest card games in rotation in the world, being Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic. I've shown that if you just work your ass off and you do what you say you're going to do, that success should follow. As far as my contribution, the things I contribute to the UFS community, I've started podcasts and YouTube channels that are no longer in my control. I've started communities like Indianapolis, ones in Alabama. I've contributed to literally every community in the United States. So while my contributions are not like Dave Wagner's in the sense of offering you cards to play with my name on it, I do offer you cards to play to grow your community and to help you become a better component of the community and a better competitor in competition.
Yep.
I consider everybody in this community a brother, a sister, a family member, and it's that simple. So there isn't much more to me. You guys know I built the turbo car, which is parked in my driveway because Shane Duckworth won it.
Can he drive stick though? He still can't drive stick, right?
I still have to teach him how to drive stick. As far as traveling to events, most of you see me all the time. 2016 and 17 and almost 18, I was at every PTC and was second place to Kevin Boberg birth years because that's just seemed to be my home. I am doing my best to get my face on cardboard at least one time. That's my goal for Worlds and Nationals this year. I love teams and singles as well, but my real purpose on wanting to be on the show is to do, much like Dave said, to be a part of the dissection and to help bring the great people of the UFS community the understanding they need to be better players, better people, and better competitors.
Papa John's.
Yeah, Get your singles today at legendarywolfgames.com.
Nice. I was hoping we'd get that at some point tonight. Probably multiple times. All right, Church. As a inaugural member of the Rockford CCG team, you now have 3 minutes, sir.
Oh, damn, 3 minutes. Well, I don't really know how to count to 3, so I'm just going to kind of keep going with it. I, too, started with set 1. I remember I was at some convention, and some weird-looking dude walked up to me, and he was like, hey, you want to play this card game? And I thought, I got nothing to do with 20 minutes. And then he beat me with a rubber ducky. It was a weird game back then. So I went to my local store, and I picked up a starter deck. I like Soul Calibur. Tacky with my girl. She was a starter deck. I opened it up, and I'm like, why is she a weapon? Is that some kind of sexual harassment? Because back then, she had the weapon keyword. That was a thing. I never left my city to play UFS until the Jasco era. I was gonna go to like the Patches event at the Fantasy Flight headquarters, but I ended up not being able to go last minute. Turned out a lot of people went. Oops. Yeah, first event I went to was like CanNats 2012. I traveled on a bus for 44 hours and it was horrible. But I had fun and I met Slam. And I remember talking to my roommates. I'm like, hey, that's Andrew Alex over there. And then Andrew turned and I went, ah! And I just ducked. I love the community. There's some great guys. They're always fun to meet. Oh yeah, in 2016, I won a card. That was cool. I made a Rikuo deck that I loved, and then about a month before the event, one of my teammates said, hey, that's a cool deck. It's mine now. So I kind of devolved into an older deck that I'd been running for the last year, and then I played with that. What else is there? Oh, in 2017, I was the Zoe that got Zoe banned. Everyone got Zoe banned, but I was the Zoe. And then in 2018, I did nothing. I brought a mill deck to Nats in a super aggressive format, and I was literally last place in Nationals. You can look it up if you want. I was 99th out of 99. I am very proud of that. Rodney was 98th in your face, 99th. Yeah, so I'm going to try and do a lot better than that.
This is what I have to deal with on the team now, 98th and 99th.
Oh, yeah.
Please tell me that on the recording that you play this back that there's going to be like a screenshot and a shrink-in of his name at 99th place. It's canon now. That has to be
the thing is, though, with YouTube streaming, it automatically records and uploads, so if I really wanted to, I could probably go back and do it, but I'm too lazy to do that. But
you could make it the screenshot for the episode like the thumbnail.
I could.
I could. On me and Rodney in very last place.
Okay, Church,
That's
you got
the only thing I accomplished.
You got 40 seconds. Why should you be on the show?
Why shouldn't I be? Are you trying to insult me, man? Of course I should be here. Look, I've been to less events than both Dave and Myles combined or separately. That's a weird way to put it. So obviously I should be the one on the show to talk to the everyman, you know? To talk to the little people that want to hear me vamp for 4 minutes when I have 3 minutes to talk. And I just kind of keep going about nothing in specific, but then I remember some people are like, how are you making 40 attack Yoshimitsu work? And I'm like, you just check 5. This new set's stupid. So, yeah, it's like Myles was saying.
All right. And you used all your time.
Oh, right at the buzzer.
Right at the buzzer. All right, so we're going to look at the poll right now. I believe you said you were in the lead, and then Shane, Myles, Phil, and then Dave at the bottom, unfortunately.
Shane, Myles, then no one, then Dave.
Okay. So now we're going to have to do a little bit of mudslinging here for a second, gentlemen. So we're going to go clockwise. So, Church, why should...
different ways than you.
Yeah, I know. Well, okay, you're going to Myles. You tell the good people why they should vote for you over Myles. You have to...
me over Myles?
Yeah. You have 2 minutes.
That's fucking adorable. I want to hear this.
You have 2 minutes. Starting now.
Well, this guy, he's got his own store, so obviously he doesn't need to be on the show. He can just tell you his damn opinion anytime he wants, and you're going to listen because he's pretty important in the community. See, me, I have nothing else to do with my time. I don't have a full-time job like him. I don't have a play group. I need someone to listen to my opinions. I actually don't have a play group. They quit because this game's too difficult now.
Well, call one. I bow out. That was good. I'm kidding.
Someone needs to hear my stupid opinion.
Oh my goodness.
You still got a minute. Do you have anything to add to
I
that?
still got a minute.
Yes, you do. Yeah. You could forfeit the rest of the time, and then Myles gets 3 minutes to go into Dave. So.
I will be honest, I love Terry a lot too, and I wanted to be the guy who played Terry at every event, and then I went to an event, and I found out there's a guy who already does that, and I felt sad. I played so much Terry at my locals before I traveled, man. I had a Terry theme deck that I would play for so long. Like, literally every card in the deck was only Terry cards, and I fought my buddy's Chun-Li theme deck, and I would beat him every time, and it felt so good, and I would Buster Wolf him through the table. That old Buster Wolf was sure a card. It had, like, Powerful 4 for some reason. Doesn't mean it was good. Okay, my time's up now.
Okay, your time is up. Myles Tyler, you tell the good community why Dave Wagoner does not, whatever I said about church to you, you can say, you talk about Dave.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have anything as creative as church did. Yeah. I'm going to be honest. I don't really think that there is a reason why I should be on the show more than Dave. Me and Dave have done a lot of things for the community in two totally separate directions. I said that during my opening speech.
Correct.
I don't have cardboard. But maybe by being on the show and getting to talk to all you guys and get to hear your opinions and, you know, maybe change my thought process a little bit, maybe I get to learn something. As much as I know about UFS and get to be a component in its creation and in its you know, growth and everything else that I get to do with you guys and everything. I don't have the clout that Dave Wagoner has. I don't. I have different types of clout. Like Church said, I have the store. I get to hang out with Shane Duckworth every fucking day, and it's pretty awesome and kind of daunting and terrifying at the same time because you don't know if you're going to get fucking murdered in your sleep or not. Not because Shane would actually kill me, but because I don't actually think that when we play UFS and I win, I don't think I won because I won. I think I won because he let me. So I feel like, and you guys, everybody that's here, you know, you've played against Shane before, so you know what I'm talking about. So you would be helping me become a better UFS player than I already am. And yeah, like I said, I don't think it's a competition between me and Dave Wagoner about who should be on the show. Dave, mad props to Dave. He's caught these hands as many times as I've caught hands from him. But if I had to say, a lot of hand catching. But I will say that I have never been beaten by someone's theme deck before. That is something that happened to Dave Wagoner.
I beat you as myself.
Well, you were playing Yori. You caught these hands. You didn't know what was happening, and then that was the end of the story. So,
and that is time.
If there was anything, that was it.
Dave Wagoner.
All right, fair play, sir. So do I have to go into church?
You have to go into church now. Yes. Ready?
For a full 3 minutes?
No, I got 2 minutes, man. 2 minutes.
It's not going to take
like
that
20
long,
seconds.
Man.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
It's not going to take.
You could also.
No. I'm on here.
You do have a chance to rebuttal if you wish to. I will give you guys a chance to rebuttal. So go ahead.
Okay. Church, what place did you say you came in the last event?
Bitch, 99 out of 99. Beat that. I just threw a comb. Beat that.
I can see the rest of my time.
Yeah. Why do you need more time? Rebuttal. Dave may have 7 cards, but I have 1 card, and maybe up towards of 7 people have played it. Now, that may be me playing it 5 different times in different events, but that's 2 other people, and Rodney's never played it, so he doesn't count.
That's actually hilarious that Rodney's never played his own card.
Okay, so we have a question from the community. Being great, upstanding individuals you guys are, what kind of game plan would you implement to stop X from giving it to us? Let's go with Myles first. How would you stop X from giving it to us?
You can't. X been giving it to us since '99. There's nothing that we can do.
That's not wrong.
I hope that was the answer you're looking for. Whoever asked the question.
That was our brethren from the South. Brad Townsley asked that. So.
Brad, I have some sad news for you. Look at me right now. You can't stop X giving it to you. I'm sorry.
That is true. All right, so we're going to go into some questions that I have ready for you guys. So,
I didn't even get to answer the next question. Only he did.
Well, do you have anything to compound onto that?
I have an actual
you beat that answer, Clint Badger.
Look, what's that? Oh, open up the door. It's real.
What?
Okay, move on. It's a reference to that song. You can move on now. My joke is not worth the 5 seconds.
There's actually doors in that room that you're in.
Yeah.
There isn't. There's just, hold on. There's just an open doorway.
See?
That's just creepy, man.
Anytime I want. Oh, man, this is not going to set up that.
Okay.
Isn't that where they shot the Taken movies at?
Only Taken 2. They couldn't afford the third one. It cost them too much.
All right, so I have some questions. So we're going to, Church, this is for you. There's been some reports that you use British spies to change the votes in the prelim voting. What is the response to the fact that you have to cheat to get your win? Isn't that against Canadian policy? Please let us know this.
There were Russian spies implemented on the votes. Now, yes, I will not deny that I used British spies to aid in the vote. And I'll even tell you what happened. It was 3:50 a.m. here in the Americas. But over in Britainland, it was 10 in the morning. People are awake. People are normal. And we were watching the votes. Dave Wagoner hit 40. I was still at 39. And I told, and I will straight up call him and name drop this boy, Mike Hardiman, pull the trigger. 3:50 a.m. He unvotes Dave. Boom, tied. 39-39. And I got in. I will not deny this.
Oh, my gosh. I don't know. I'm not sure if the community and the public are ready for your British spies, sir. I don't think they are.
But I was at 44 votes earlier that day, or 43. I took a screenshot of it, and then I was at 39. That ain't right. That ain't right. Turnabout is fair play, motherfuckers. I'm sorry, but it's no longer PG, except for the fact that Turnabout cycled about 9 years ago.
So, Dave Wagoner, this is for you. I've seen reports online that you have purchased some HHGH or human hair growth hormone. Is your hair all the sham? What do you say to your fans about this?
This is all natty, baby. This is all natty. Yeah.
I have reports. We have documents saying that you have purchased this stuff. Is this all a sham? We need to know this.
I'm actually fucking terrified about what my question's gonna be.
Yeah, I'm a little scared too. No, baby.
It's all natural, everyone. So I guess those are debunked. It is a myth that he did not use any HHGH. He's good. He's clean. Do we need to take a piss test?
Certificate? Where's the fucking birth certificate?
We need that for Church because he says he's fully Canadian and he's really half American.
To Worlds that is me with a fucking full head of hair as like a 1-year-old. It's ridiculous.
All right, Myles Tyler. I have sources in Omaha, Nebraska, your hometown, that state. They've seen you driving a Ford Taurus around. What is the explanation for this? And what is wrong with you for driving a Ford Taurus?
Wow, cutting deep.
Well,
I don't want to divulge. Wait, 1 second, sir. 1 second. I don't want to divulge my source, your wife. You know.
To the spineless bitch that decided to divulge to everyone that my first vehicle that was purchased for me by my father when I was like 18, that was a Ford Taurus. You can go fuck yourself and don't call me when you're done. For everyone else, we all make mistakes. We all go down the dark road sometimes. But then one day I found light. It was a 96 Honda Civic. Her name was Mary. I named her after Terry's girlfriend and my grandmother, who had been stricken with breast cancer and won the battle. So with that being said, I never turned my back after that. I've been driving Hondas ever since, and they all are 96 to 2000 Honda Civics, much like the turbo car that Shane Duckworth drives.
Wait. Hasn't driven yet, technically. Hasn't driven yet.
Attempted to.
Is that clutch
allegedly
nothing but dust in like a week?
Yeah.
I can take my computer outside and show you. It is literally sitting in the driveway.
Oh, we believe you. I believe you. All right, so let's see if the community has any other questions. Okay, so again, from Brad Townsley, Best puppet cannon character. We're going to take some random questions. Just quick shots. Come on, guys. Any in the community? Oh, also, he wants to know what you're drinking, Dave. So, you know. Oof. I don't know. But anywho, we can move on to some actual questions. Those are just the fun, ice-breaking questions I had planned for you guys. So
you want to answer the puppet cannon one?
You can do the puppet cannon one. What, Myles?
Obviously, it's Keith Disbro as the mill deck because you could see how well I did at Nats.
99.
I mean, I also made like second seed in teams and did pretty well in teams. But if you ignore that, 99 puppet cannon did a lot of work for me.
Anybody else? Rebuttal? Anything else? Anybody want to say he's wrong?
So,
Tim Cap won. Need I say more? Not fired. I went there.
It's got to be a life character, right? That's the only symbol that can activate the combo?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Somebody who can run Forbidden Moonset well, because that's the best card in life right now. So probably Quan Chi or Killick or something? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. I haven't dug too deep into where life is currently in the format because it's not like super exciting to me, but yeah, there's probably something there. So Quan's still really good. So
okay. And now I have actual questions for you gentlemen. Those were, like I said, those were just some icebreakers that I wanted to, you know, just get out there. So also, Tim Keefe, our reigning defending two-belted champion, asked, what are the 3 best symbols right now?
With Soul Calibur release?
Yes, I would say. Yeah, I mean, I'd say Soul. Yeah, Soul Calibur with Soul Calibur.
Yeah.
Evil, all. Evil and all.
I'm still thinking you hit 3.
Evil,
I accept Evil being your number 1 and 2.
Probably Earth. Earth is really good.
Ooh.
Earth is really good.
I agree. I like that.
I think Evil is still the best symbol because we got a 1/5/6 check that I won't stop raving about in Nightmare. On set release, we thought was the best character. We've shown that Maxi's way up there.
Oh yeah, Maxi is amazing.
I still think that Evil, with having access to Samba and Perry and everything that we talk about on the daily basis that we hate and love at the same time, I still think Evil's the best symbol. All took a big jump with everything, with characters like Maxi and Ivy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we had a conversation before the show started. I think Earth is up there because Vicious got access to all of Siegfried's stuff.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
So,
Church, you want to jump in on this, or let me know?
I feel like I kind of really agree with the Evil point. That's definitely up there. I haven't had as much experience on Earth lately, so I can't be too certain. I kind of just sit around with my gimmicky Mexican Typhoon deck, so I'm not much of an Earth guy to ask about that. I don't know, that Evil in the All just makes a lot of sense. I kind of want to agree with that. And the third one's up in the air. I'm not certain, so I'm just going to not say air because that would sound weird. Not Chaos, definitely. Life fell off the boat. Fire? Nah, that's weird.
I mean, Fire's, as somebody playing Kid Under Fire, Fire's really good, but I think it's under good with like shotgun characters. Outside of that,
yeah,
it doesn't have any longevity.
It can really shotgun you, but after turn 3 or 4, not so much.
Sure.
I'd say that Death is still upstairs.
Yeah, Death can still do a lot of stuff. I really like the Jetta support from Death, so yeah, I'm putting my vote on Death.
All right, Dave Wagner. Let's hear your professional. Let's hear your fucking what's his name from CNN? Your Anderson Cooper on this shit.
Oh, dude. So I think you guys are definitely correct on Evil. Its kit didn't really lose anything with the rotation we just had, and it just got a couple of better tools, and it was already in a really good place. And none of its stuff is really character locked except for Akuma because he's kind of his own thing. It still does basically everything it did during MK, and some of it even does a little bit more efficiently now. So yeah, like it's probably somewhere in the top 3. I don't have like a 1 to 3 top to bottom, but Earth and Good I almost mashed together into the same symbol because there's so damn much overlap with it. But it's really hard to ignore like cool, you can jam Missile Launcher, Nutcracker, and Dark Chirito into almost any character that's relevant on those symbols, and it's at least going to be somewhat functional, and then you can just kind of fill in the blanks with the rest of it. That's just a really strong attack lineup, and it's a really good kit. So that's kind of like my 2A, 2B, whatever you want to call it. I think sneakily, we just saw Water take like a really big jump. Having Jetta's debuild and Killick's debuild on the same symbol is like gross. So, and yeah, there's just a lot of good stuff going on with that symbol out of the new characters between Shanghua and Killick specifically. Like, I don't know, that last like number 3 spot is a little hazy for me, but I do think it's like evil, good, earth, wherever you want to put those two. Those are probably my top 3 if you want to pin it to 3 symbols.
Okay.
So,
alrighty.
Yeah.
Thank you for the question.
I think all's right up there too. Like all's really strong.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So I have another set of questions for you, gentlemen. This one's directed at Myles. As a shop owner, what is your current thoughts on the 4 sets a year plan? And do you think a set release on May 10th is too soon because it will tax the wallets of your players, especially if they go to Worlds?
So this one's tough because I have 2 hats here.
I know.
So this hat, I've been changing hats during the episode, much like you've probably seen. So this is going to be my business hat, and this is going to be my player hat.
Okay.
My business hat says we sold, so much Soul Calibur that our 2 initial stocks demanded a 3rd restock of 50 cases. So if that tells you anything.
That's awesome.
Right. So with that, I think that we were in a place a couple years ago where people said that you shouldn't play UFS because the problem with the game is a release schedule. So you have to weigh the bad against the good. I completely understand the taxing of the wallets part because, again, I'm part of the reason why your wallets get taxed because I sell UFS cards. But at the same time, would you rather be sitting here complaining about not having a set release or having cards to play with or having new things to touch to grow your mind? Or would you rather be in the Mega Man and Darkstalkers 10 era and KOF where it was in rotation for like 9 years?
Yeah.
Right. Dave Wagner shaking his head no. So, and there's no rush. Like, I think with there being another set this year, being in May, you don't have to have all the cards in May. I mean, Nationals isn't until the end of the year. So, I mean, like, sure, the PTC schedule will probably get wonky and people won't be playing to their fullest if they don't have access to all the cards due to income and whatnot. But you still have plenty of time to get yourself prepped for Nationals. So, I mean,
yeah,
that's business hat, Myles. Hold on,
You're fine.
Now, player hat, Myles. If I were Dave Wagner with a real job, I wouldn't care. If I were Clint Badger without a real job, I would totally care. That's the best way to put it. There's no other real way.
No,
and if you have a real job like Dave Wagner, you don't care, so you just buy it and it doesn't matter and you're ahead of the power curve. If you're Clint Badger, you just trade in those high dollar cards to legendarywolfgames.com and you get the new stuff that you need to put yourself in a position to have what you want. So, I mean, I feel like there's outlets and ways for you to be able to be on both sides of the power curve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep, totally agree. Thank you. Appreciate that. Does anyone do, Dave or Church, do you guys have any rebuttal to that at all?
I think it's a very good point that there's not another big event until October, so maybe this is an okay time for them to just jam 2 sets at us and be ahead of the curve. If they both dropped right before Worlds, I think there'd be a lot more backlash from the fans. You know, like one in mid-March, March is a word, and then one in mid-April or early April and still legal for Worlds. Yeah, people would be pissed. But, I mean, in theory, if they're sending it to the printer soon, which apparently people have said that Jasco are doing, we might have some ready for Worlds for prizes. I don't know about, like, just here's an uncommon like they did for Street Fighter Darkstalkers or straight up, here's a box for topping. They've done that before. That was Street Fighter, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got all the Street Fighter I needed from that Worlds, and I've never had to buy any more. Thank God, because it sucks in retrospect. It was a fun set when it came out, though.
Dave, anything?
It was just nice to have Street Fighter back.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was, for sure. I'll So I would rather see a consistent release schedule and have it actually, like, if they've committed to doing 4 sets a year and that's their game plan, then they need to execute on that, right? And if this is what we have to deal with because there was a hiccup with Soul Calibur and cool, we get like 2 sets released within 2 months of each other, like, okay, that's not the end of the world, right? It also depends on set size, right? Like if this is another like Street Fighter versus Darkstalkers size set where it's a little bit smaller and you're not farming for ultras quite as hard as you would be in something like MK, then that reduces the financial hit a bit too. But we don't know, right? Sure. Like this is all speculation here. There's nothing confirmed or denied or anything at this point. At least not that I know of.
Okay. And Dragon Ball players do it anyway. Dragon Ball releases a set every 3 months and a mid-set in between those sets. So, I mean, like, to be fair, other card games do this already. So if we just get to jump in the league with those guys,
so be it.
Right. We're a real card game at that point, like everybody says we're not.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right, Dave, your question. Given the current state of aggro decks and how powerful they are currently, how would you go about telling a new player who prefers the mid-range game on how to survive and defend himself and to be able to stand up to those high-powered aggro decks?
Okay, so before we unpack that, let's look at like what an aggro deck in UFS actually means, right? Because just jamming missile launcher into your deck does not make an aggro deck. Right? Like, that's not how it works. Something like Myles's Ken, that's a pretty fucking aggressive deck, right?
Yes, it is.
Like that deck wants to swing hard on you on 2, and that's like a big piece of its game plan, and it's built around doing that, right? Like Goro can be built in that way too, right? Like Rodney's shotgun Goro from Atlanta, or even the more just kind of more traditional Earth builds you can tune that way. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of ways to skin that, right? So against decks like that, you need a couple of things, right? Like the best damage reduction in UFS is blocking. Straight up. So you want to have cards in your deck that help enable blocking. Whether that's speed reduction, speed resets, those are kind of your big ones. In addition to that, a lot of these like really aggressive decks are going to want to try and stun you to death because the less they have to interact with your board, the better off you are.
Very true.
So build in defense against stun. If you can disrupt their progressive difficulty with stuff like Breaker or being Shanghua and doing the garbage that Broberg did to people. And Rochester, like stuff like that's worth looking at too. Mm-hmm. It's more about like, do you have a way that when you look at your opening hand, you say, okay, I have at least 2 to 3. If like say you're a 6-hand size character, like 1 to 2 of these cards are going to help me survive through turn 2, right? Or if you're a 7-hander, maybe it's 2 to 3 of these cards will help me survive through till turn 2, and then I can like. Cool, my opponent pushed really hard with a bunch of attacks, so didn't get to build as much, so now I get to kind of catch up, right? And there's decks that circumvent that, but that's a way deeper discussion. But layer your defense, right? You can't just rely on, cool, I'm just going to breaker my opponent to death, because that doesn't always work, right?
True.
You play against Akuma, and he just shuts off your breaker because he doesn't give a shit, and now you have to rely on, like, nope, I just need good fundamentals on my blocking, right? Or have one other thing you can do that's usually really good is have a way to make your blocks like either hyper efficient out of your attack lineup, right? Like good block mods all over the place, or have a way to cheat your progressive difficulty on blocking. That's also really good. That's the kind of stuff I would look at. Because if you're a mid-range deck, your sweet spot can be like turn 4, turn 5, turn 6, like. And most mid-range decks, if they're built right, they can threaten to kill on turn 3, but it's not consistent, maybe. But you want to be able to survive long enough to get to that point. That's kind of where I'd start with it. Like layer your defense. All the aggressive cards and all that stuff is cool, but you can oversaturate your deck with it, and then you just die all the time, and you never get to the point where that stuff gets to shine and it's awesome.
Sure.
So yeah.
Cool.
There you
go. Myles, anything to add to
that? Dave is 100% correct. Okay. Even playing the super aggro deck like Ken, the things he's talking about layering your progressive so you don't have to worry about dying. In a 7-hand size character like Ken, where you're literally trying to kill them on 2 and you whiff, you have to have answers to where you can get to 3 and ensure that they die. So playing Unites and clearing my card pool after I blocked you twice with 4 cards in my hand to still be able to block running the range stuff like Pharaoh Shot, which people weren't looking for with Redeemed Rogue, and removing them to amp up my damage on offense, but also DR you on defense. Taking the hits until desperation and using Shaolin Fighter to pitch my momentum and have leg shredders and things in there to ready foundations and give your attack -4 damage to live through the onslaught that you're going to give me on turn 3 to keep the game stable so you don't die and have to deal with my turn 3. That he's 100% correct. Breaker is super important. But when the company that makes the card game prints a bunch of 6 checks, Breaker doesn't really do a whole lot. So you have to have answers outside of just breaking your opponent. It is a very fundamental and basic way of going, my opponent's playing aggro, how do I deal with it? But then you got to remember Fatality is a card, and Fatality does not give a shit about your Breaker. So...
True fact. Church, anything you want to add before we get to you?
I think the point on the attacks having great block mods is always very nice. And sometimes, yeah, there are cards that you can run that are mainly for aggressiveness, but they go both ways. It's one reason I love Demon Realm Awakening. It does so many things. You can run it to kill a man. You can run it to -3 damage and draw a card or stop attacks. It does so much. So little things like that can do both things for you are great.
Okay, cool. Okay, so now your question. With your card rotating, how would you tell a new player to fill in gaps in their deck by cards that may have possibly have just rotated?
Oh, well, you don't need to worry about replacing Badger Club because no one runs it, so that's not going to be much of an issue. Well, you shouldn't be looking for things that are too exact. I think it's a problem a lot of people run into. Like, oh, man, I'm losing the mid block on Design for Combat. I'm so dead. Like, oh, yeah, because everyone's trying to kill you mid. You don't need 25 mids all the time. Like, there's a card that I love for Street Fighter Darkstalkers, Far Worse Places Than Hell. And it shares 2 symbols with Design for Combat, Death and Water. It also shares Chaos, but that's okay because no one runs that. And there are so many viable attacks that just happen to have reversals. You don't need to run them as reversals, but Jet is a good example. I love his non-rare attacks, like False and
Spiral.
Spirale Divina.
Yeah.
False and Easy. I love saying them. These are just efficient attacks on their own that happen to have reversal. You don't need to reversal with them ever, but hey, you can still flip a Far Worse Places in Hell and draw a card, and that's more efficient than Design for Combat. So just look for similar things, not the exact same things. You're not going to find a new improved design because it's going away, and it was efficient in its day, but not so much anymore, so look for similar things. Balance Fighter, I guess you can run Dark Side of Karma. I mean, that's efficient in some ways, less efficient in other ways. Life is losing a lot of its big speed reduction with Dust in the Wind, so you're going to have to get really creative with life. Maybe you run the Kanzaki Dojo, because it does have speed reduction on it for a hefty cost, and it doesn't really do anything if you've also got speed pump, but beggars can't be choosers sometimes.
So, and the hope is that we'll get the answers that we need in the upcoming set to replace those pieces.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Maybe we don't need so much speed reset, because it kind of makes speed pump decks feel a little irrelevant when a guy gets out 2 Balanced Fighters and a Dark Side of Karma on 1 or 2, and
that's rough. Yeah, I've had that happen to me before. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I'm waiting on some other things. I think the community has no more questions because none of them popped up for a while. So I just want to say I want to kind of lead into the outro a bit. So unfortunately, Shane couldn't join us, so hopefully I can send him his questions and he can give us kind of his take on stuff.
Can you give us his questions? If there are 3 of them, we could each answer one.
There's only 2, and one of them I can't give to Myles because he knows how to drive stick. So I can't give Myles that one. So but okay, so here we go. This is really kind of for him because he was an employee at Jasco Games. It was given his past employment at Jasco. Does that give him an advantage in playing against people at Worlds and covering them for covering Worlds for shows like the Guile treatment and for like the public? Do you think that gives him a decided advantage? Go ahead, Myles.
Can I answer this one?
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
So, as I said earlier in one of my answers, I live and work with Shane Duckworth, and I'm just going to be honest with you. That man's brain is just a well of card game knowledge. It doesn't matter if we're playing UFS or Final Fantasy or Transformers or whatever the hell we're playing, the way that his brain sees card games is just insane. Dave Wagoner has a very similar brain. I don't think it's as deep as Shane's is, and that's not an insult as to Dave.
the different games that he's used. Like,
right. So,
not in chess. So.
Watching him not be at Jasco and be at the store every day and interacting with all the players that come into LWG, and that when me and him travel for Final Fantasy and everything else, and watching him play, man, I'm going to tell you, him working at Jasco ain't got nothing to do with why he's still scooping people up at UFS. He is beating our asses because he is seeing a depth of the game that we aren't seeing. Like, or man, I'm not trying to stroke dude's ego. I'm not at all.
You may be getting him more votes, which is what you don't want to do. You may be getting him more votes.
I mean, I'm gonna be a man of honesty. Regardless of whether I'm getting more votes or not, I don't think that Shane's tenure at Jasco merited him anything that he didn't already have.
Sure.
I would say that him not being able to play with us hurt us more, because we didn't get access to his brain during all those sets and the things that we didn't see, as well as giving him the ability to kind of like nest. I think that's, if you were to say he got anything from not being able to play professional card games or UFS anymore, it gave him the ability to get nested and to be able to like literally open his mind more than he had before, because he was a great UFS player before working for Jasco, and we all can agree to that.
Yeah.
But like, holy buckets of shit nuggets to quit working for Jasco, get cleared to play UFS, start playing Turbo, and then scoop everybody up at Turbo Worlds. He's going to be in Arkansas this weekend. I have no idea what he's going to play, because he doesn't even know what the hell he's going to play. But that's the scary part, is that most of us have a game plan. He's going to pick a deck and he's going to play it the best way that he knows how. And the fact that he can play something without having teched it for fucking 3 weeks or a month and still come out at the top of the ring is terrifying.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'll chime in on Shane a little bit too, if you don't mind. Like, because Shane, like, when I was traveling for tournaments back in the day, and I'm talking like Sabretooth era, right? Like, Shane was a kid at that point, and he was still coming out for tournaments then, and doing really well, right? And I mean, I've been buddies with the guy ever since, and kind of got to see him develop as a player and just continue to get better and so on and so forth. And for a long time, like, his big strength was execution, right? He wasn't the most innovative deck builder necessarily, and that's not a slight on him. I'm not the most, like, that's not my big strength either, right? Like, I'm a fine tuner and I will execute you to death. Those are like my two big strengths as a player, but I'm not the most creative deck builder out there. So that's not me bashing Shane whatsoever, right? But that was his strength. Like, his execution was always really good. And now getting to watch him also turn into like a really scary deck builder, even playing at like staff tournaments and stuff like that, when he'd be doing like the cool, you want to challenge one of the staff members and so on and so forth. Like, he'd be doing some pretty unique stuff with his builds, and you combine those two things, like high level of execution and creative deck building, and yeah, like he's gonna post up. He's gonna do well. I mean, is he guaranteed cardboard this year? No, because no one is. Like, you can't put a finger on that. But like, do I think he's gonna have a good showing in a couple of weeks? Yeah, he probably will. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't be shocked at all if he cracks top 16. I don't know how far he gets from there, but top 16 is a lot of times a crapshoot. So who knows?
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, Shane's a strong player. I'm excited to have him back.
Me too.
But I'm going back to what Chris was saying, and that his tenure at Jasco doesn't deem that he is just this god at UFS or having yeah. So to answer Chris's question, I think.
Yeah. Sorry. So yeah, he was always a strong player. Like that was never, he didn't just walk into Jasco like, yeah, I played the game for a while, but I'm okay at it. No, he was good. And he's kept up that level of play quality. And yeah, like I said, I think he's going to do well. I see no reason why he wouldn't. So.
Church, you want to
add anything? It kind of makes me think of back when Jasco had players as playtesters, and people would think, oh, because you're a playtester, you're so good at the game. But it's really the other way around. You're a playtester because you're good at the game. Shane went to Jasco because he's good at the game. So he's still good at the game. Being at Jasco isn't what made him great. That's just what allowed him to get there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, he's just going to come back swinging like he was before.
Okay, so we have one more community. We have one more community question before we end the stream. Barry Everson asks, what new characters do you think are real contenders for Worlds? I'll give it, you guys each pick 2, just to keep it short.
Can we just take Maxi out?
Yeah, sure. We'll take
2 non-Maxi.
2 non-Maxi characters, because we all know Maxi's busted, so 2 non-Maxis. Go ahead and start, whoever. You guys can chime in whenever, so it's fine.
I'll jump in first here. I helped Broberg tune the Shanghua deck that he played in Rochester, and so I kind of underestimated her a little bit when I first saw her. Like, it's like, okay, this character does some neat stuff, but it's one of those, until you actually see it function, it's not always as indicative as to how good it is. And he put on a good show in New York. I think that character is going to be very strong. I don't know if she's like S tier or anything. Like, it's way too early to make a call like that, right? You can't take a 20-person tournament and say, like, a 20-person week 1 tournament and say, yeah, this is what the meta looks like. But you can still get some info from it. So I think Shanghua's really good. And beyond that, Maxi for sure, but we kind of already all stamped that one. I think Taki's good. Taki's not going to be like a dominant force, but she's kind of like an off-meta pick. And you can tune her to beat some of the like format juggernauts, just because her response for clearing stuff interacts in weird ways with characters like Cassie and Akuma and Shenhua, honestly. So like, she's kind of like a counter pick, but she'll have her place. I wouldn't put her on winning the whole thing, but like, probably pretty good team stack. So we'll see how she winds up stacking up. Okay. So there you go.
Myles?
If I were to pick 2 characters that Dave did not select, I would probably say, we talked about this earlier, Vicious is still one of the best well-rounded characters of hand size and mentality and abilities. I still think that he's upstairs with everybody else. I think that he is the best Bebop character currently. Spike was for a very long time, but I think with the addition of all the things that he got from Soul Calibur, all the all cards, all of the Earth cards, and still having Evil, I still think that he's one of the best characters in the format. And not to rain on anybody's parade, but like a sleeper pick would be Shinnok. I mean, nobody is paying attention to that character, and the inability to interact with the things that it does is very frustrating. To have your counter pieces in your staging area not have text on them and be face down foundations while they're face up is disgusting.
I agree with that. Yeah, Shinnok is quite annoying. Yes, I agree. Church.
Wait, was the question 2 characters out of SoulCal or 2 characters in the SoulCal meta? Because I feel like we answered 2 different questions.
It's okay. It's just in the
character was just the 2 best characters in the set in the game right now.
Like Dave took the 2 best characters that he probably, other than Maxi, I think he took the 2 best characters, in my opinion, out of Soul Calibur. So you can easily pick anybody else. So it's just.
And I too kind of agree on that Taki front. Man, I wanted to say Vicious too. He's just so generically strong. It just makes sense. But I don't want to steal your pick, so I'm pretty sure. Do you want to say Jeddah? I feel like that guy is just so weird to fight. Like, he's not immediately strong when anyone pilots him, but good people are gonna pilot him. Yeah, and now that he's got Moonset, Shane's been telling people he wants to run Moonset Jeddah for Worlds because that shit's busted. So I feel like that's definitely something to look out for.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like Akuma went anywhere with this set. It's not like anything stopped him. Yeah, Taki can slow him down a bit, but he'll still probably kick her ass.
Sure.
So,
all right, cool. Thanks, Barry, for that question. All right, everyone. As we close the stream, don't forget to go vote for your favorite person to be on the show. Top 2 make it. So remember, vote for your favorite. We'll bring in top 2. We may just be looking at the show right now, because, we may just do the show with these guys, because these fine gentlemen
that'd be fine.
Easily put on a good show tonight. So
because we showed up.
That is also true. We appreciate the commitment. And Myles is under the weather. He's like Michael Jordan here. He's hitting 50 points. Swish. So again, thanks for everyone watching at home. We appreciate it. We had about 10 watchers through the entire thing, on and off. We had a bunch of comments in the comments. You guys, I appreciate it. I thank you very much for coming on short notice, because I know we had the vote Friday for prelims, and then we turned this thing around, and we had no idea what was really going on until 4 o'clock this morning, until I actually figured out what I wanted to do. So Thanks again, and we hope to have you guys back on for the World Show. We'll see how the vote goes. We'll find that out on Friday. Don't forget to get all your singles at legendarywolf.com, .org, .gen.
Isn't it Legendary Wolf Games?
Games.
No. Yeah. Hold on. What is his name? Oh God, Rob Schneider. It's Ordinary Wolf Games.
Yeah.
I think you redirected it back to my website now. I don't know. I haven't checked in a while.
Oh, good man. Good man. But yeah,
that was weird.
That was really weird. Yes. So with that, everyone have a good night. We'll all talk to you later, and we're gonna end the stream. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check out all the fun stuff. If you have any other questions, feel free to hit these guys up. They're some of the best people to talk to in the community. They always have an open ear. And like I'm throwing my deck list for singles at them after this. Not now, but I'll message it to them, obviously. But yeah, we'll talk to you guys later. Good night.